Action 2 News starts right now with breaking news.
Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Mackenzie Amundsen. Brittany has the night off. Protests continue to escalate across the country 5 days after George Floyd died while in Minneapolis police custody. Dozens of people are in downtown Green Bay right now, and we're going to head out live to Bailey Burmaster in downtown Green Bay. Bailey, what are you seeing?
Hey Mackenzie, I'm here at the intersection of Walnut and Washington in downtown Green Bay where people are protesting in honor of George Floyd. I'm going to step out of the picture here so you can see what's going on. Protesters are beginning to move across the bridge, holding up traffic. You can hear the honks behind me. People, it is a polite and nice protest here. There is a police presence, but other than that, there's just traffic and honking. It is a big group, I would say at least around 300 to 400 people. These are protests that have been going on all day. There were some down on Mason Street earlier, and you could hear the chants, "No justice, no peace." Of course, on Action 2 News, we will keep you updated on all the breaking news as these protests continue overnight. Mackenzie?
Bailey, yes, thank you so much. Protesters were stopping traffic in Green Bay earlier today. Organizers tell us people need to act nationwide if things are ever going to change.
With the protests going on around the U.S., I thought, why not make one here? Why not change our system in Green Bay? Make our voices heard. If we don't start nowhere, it's not going to be heard. So we started here today.
Green Bay Police Chief Andrew Smith is addressing fear and anger following George Floyd's death.
When I saw that videotape, honestly, I was devastated. I couldn't believe what I was seeing on the video, and I was physically sickened by the actions that I saw that resulted in the killing of Mr. Floyd.
Another demonstration happened this afternoon in Appleton. Dakota Sherrick was there, and she shares with us now what she saw.
Today, I went to the protest march and rally in Appleton. Hundreds of people gathered together in George Floyd's name and to call for justice. After seeing the demonstrations firsthand, I thought it'd be best to let this story speak for itself.
George Floyd! And I'm here and I am protesting because this is not okay.
I can't breathe.
This is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first time that an innocent black man was on his back, not resisting arrest, and was killed.
I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the video, I was very hurt. To see the video, I got kids, mixed kids, and it really hurt me. And it touched me in some way where I can't explain to some people.
I'm so sorry that you lost. I'm so sorry that you lost your family member just because he was black.
Tomorrow afternoon could top out near 70 with plenty of sunshine. Meteorologist David Ernst is standing by with your full first alert forecast. David, we're going to go back out now to our Bailey Burmaster live with a look at the protests happening now in downtown Green Bay. Bailey.
Hi Mackenzie, I'm here at the Walnut Bridge where protests have kind of just bunkered down here. I'm going to step out of the picture so you can see what's going on. These protests for the George Floyd death that happened just not too long ago have been going on all day. They started at Mason Street and were moving throughout Green Bay. Tonight they're in downtown Green Bay. They were at the intersection of Walnut and Washington, but now for the past 20 minutes protesters have been bunkered down here in their cars with signs chanting "No justice, no peace," been chanting "I can't breathe," all in support of George Floyd. On top of that, there are police presence blocking off the bridge and directing traffic, and there also has been fireworks going off here. Other than that, it has been pretty quiet protest here. Nothing to worry about, but there are protests here to support George Floyd. Of course, we'll have more on Action 2 News and at WBAY.com.
Katie Anderson gives us a detailed look at what people had to say as they marched.
We've been out here all day since 2 o'clock and standing up for what we believe.
The large crowd took over downtown Green Bay Saturday night, standing on the Walnut Street Bridge for about 30 minutes, blocking traffic.
I've had the police here. They've been blocking off streets for us, bridges for us, making sure we stay safe. and I just am amazed. Like, I cried, I guess, when I got here, because it's amazing to see how many people we actually brought together here in Green Bay.
I'm from Somalia, from Green Bay. I need from the peace.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
People of all shapes and sizes and walks of life came to stand in solidarity over the death of George Floyd, some showing their kids how to stand up for what's right.
I got my baby. This is my baby out here. He's had his hands up. They shouldn't be scared of the cops. The cops are here to protect and serve, like I said, and they're gonna know right from wrong. My kids know I'm bringing my kids up the right way.
We will be out tomorrow to make our voices heard again.
In Green Bay, Katie Anderson, Action 2 News.
A smaller group of people were also gathered outside of Green Bay Police, the station, holding their fists and signs high in the air to show their support of George Floyd and his family.
If you're not disgusted as a police officer by what you saw in Minneapolis, then you're in the wrong business.
We start tonight with a passionate plea from Green Bay Police Chief Andrew Smith, who says he was invited by protesters today to join their walk through downtown demanding change after the death of George Floyd almost a week ago in Minneapolis.
I especially want to thank the woman that invited me as I was standing on the corner to come and march with you and walk over here to the police station, and I want to thank the people that invited me to come up and speak. I appreciate that. I have a few things I'd like to say. When I saw that video that you all saw, just like you, I was sickened. It was one of the most horrible things I've ever seen. To watch a police officer wearing the uniform that I wear proudly doing something as despicable as that, I said to myself, that's murder right there. And sure enough, 2-3 days later, he was Now I want to say a couple things about law enforcement in this country. We have a long way to go with law enforcement in this country. I spoke to all the chiefs of police of Wisconsin last summer when they were here at their conference. They gave me a couple minutes, and my message was this. We have a long way to go in law enforcement. We have a long way as far as accountability, and the person that is responsible for holding officers accountable for the actions that they take is me. I am responsible for what happens here in Green Bay. I'm responsible for the men and women that work in that station that proudly serve the city of Green Bay. Let me tell you what, I think we got some fantastic officers here. And I think the officers in this police station look just like you, and just like you, and just like you. We hire people from this police department, for this police department, from this community.
Our Tia Johnson has been following the demonstrators all evening. She joins us live after speaking with people who say they're ready for change. Tia.
Brittany, and that message is coming from people with different racial backgrounds and ages. The protest is over now, but it lasted for about 3 hours. They started at City Deck and made their way to the Green Bay Police Department, where they held a rally for people to have the opportunity to speak. The protest organizer, Paula Rees, tells us she's been working the past 2 days to make this all come together. She also emphasized that she wanted a peaceful protest to happen. Green Bay police officers helped demonstrators by blocking off the streets. Many protesters say change will only happen when everybody can come together in solidarity.
My family is very diverse, and just to see that the community come together to back us is just an amazing feeling, to know that I'm not alone in this.
It means we're all humans. We all bleed and end up in the same place. We're all beautiful, we all deserve rights, and we all have voices, and we all need to make change.
A lot of these people who aren't black, this isn't their fight. This is something that they don't have to do. So the fact that, they putting themselves on the line and coming out here for a fight that's not their fight, they definitely had to be commended for that.
And I'm joined here with the Green Bay Police Chief, Andrew Smith. And, first question is, we just want to know what made you want to grab that mic and talk to the protesters?
Well, I'm here because I'm frustrated as everyone else is, and I listened to everybody for a while, and they invited me to come up and speak, and I wanted to let them know that we're listening to them and we're taking their concerns seriously here in Green Bay.
Earlier this week, I asked Packers safety Adrian Amos, who's been very vocal on social media, to share his thoughts on the death of George Floyd. Amos expressed fear, feeling as though he could easily be in a similar situation, and he said, quote, "We need to start coming up with different solutions to avoid situations where people are losing their lives," end quote. Several other Wisconsin sports stars are using their platforms to express fear and outrage. Packers Pro Bowl receiver Davante Adams tweeting, "Not every response to this continued injustice and racism has been 100% positive and productive, but until my people stop being murdered by those paid to protect and serve for simply being black, I'm focused on that. And we're fighting a war that I'm not sure we will ever come out on top of, but I know and I hopefully everybody with the right mindset will keep fighting for equality. I'm optimistic things will be better one day, constantly praying for it. Packers starting right guard Billy Turner, a Minneapolis native, took to Instagram.
I am a human too. Why does the color of my skin, the texture of my hair, or people that look like me, why does that offend people? Why does that make them nervous? What is it about the color of my skin or the texture of my hair that threatens people?
Buck star and NBA MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo tweeting, "I really don't know how to put into words exactly how I feel, but one thing I know for sure is that enough is enough. It's time for change." Former Buck Malcolm Brogdon, now of the Pacers, was in his native Atlanta last night to help lead demonstrations decrying racism, but also pleading for civil protest.
And this is systematic. This isn't something where we come and, we don't have to burn down our homes. We don't have to. We built this city. This is the most proudly black city in the world. In the world, man. So let's take some pride in that. Let's focus our energy. Let's enjoy this together. This is a moment. We have leverage right now. We have a moment in time. People are gonna look back. Our kids are gonna look back at this and say, "You were a part of that." I got a grandfather that marched next to Dr. King in the '60s. And he was amazing. He would be proud to see us all here. We got to keep pushing forward.
And we're following those protests around the country and in Wisconsin as people express anger over the death of George Floyd and other deaths of black people at the hands of police. Demonstrations going into the night in Green Bay, a large group of people and many police at the intersection of Monroe and Walnut Streets for several hours overnight. This is new video in overnight. Police tell us gunshots were fired at one point. And that's where Kristen Allen is live this morning with what happened overnight.
That's right. Several dozen people gathered overnight here in front of this Marathon gas station here behind me at the corner of Monroe and Walnut Streets in downtown Green Bay. You can see that police are still here this morning and they have it taped off. They confirmed to us that shots were fired toward the gas station and said that the inside of it is trashed. You can see some of the debris here in the parking lot as well. Police have been here keeping a watch over things. This was happening just after 10 o'clock last night. There was also chanting and yelling. Some firecrackers were set off as well. Our crew saw water bottles being thrown at police. Around midnight, police started using smoke to break up the crowd, but small groups continued to linger for several more hours. One of the demonstrators we spoke with said that he's disappointed the direction that the protest took overnight in Green Bay.
I really think that this really is distracting of the real problem that's happening. Since we're really supposed to be protesting a calm protest, we're not really supposed to be looting or anything. And what really happened here is it's tragic. It's just sad to see that people are taking advantage of this protest.
There's no word on any injuries right now. Green Bay police say they will hold a press release later today. We'll be following the story and bringing you the latest information that comes out of that press conference later today. Reporting live in Green Bay, Kristen Allen, Action 2 News.
What started as a large peaceful protest demanding change quickly changed in just a few short minutes around 10:30 last night when some people started looting the gas station. Then gunshots rang out. No one was injured, but tear gas and these rubber balls were deployed by the Brown County Sheriff's Office to disperse the crowd.
Much of the cleanup already happened this morning. Dejanay Williams, who organized the peaceful protests we showed you all Sunday afternoon, also organized the cleanup.
We're gonna finish cleaning out the outside, but as far as the inside, I'm hoping they ain't steal too much. Like I tell her, I got Sam's Club credit card. If it's snacks and stuff missing, I'll replace it because I feel responsible because I got this gathering together this whole weekend. But at the same time, I'm not responsible for people. But I still feel bad because we don't have problems with our community or these small businesses. Our problem was against police brutality, which is why we was taking it to the police station.
Third straight day that protesters have gathered here at Houdini Plaza. This has been the scene since about 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'll just step out of the way so you can take a look for yourself. Now, just a few minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago, before Appleton police officers showed up at the scene, and they were in the middle of that crowd, and they spoke to organizers of this protest. At first, it was a little bit heated, but then things simmered down, and everybody took a knee together as a symbolic show of support. It appears now the protesters are moving east on College Avenue. Many are holding up signs. They've been chanting.